Here.
Here.
Representative Webb.
Here.
Representative Rogers. Representative Klaus.
Here.
Representative South.
Here.
Representative Tillman. Representative Sorrells.
Here.
Representative Stantrick.
Here.
Representative Paramore.
Here.
Representative McClamey. Here. Representative Ensler. Representative Underwood.
Here.
Representative Shaw. Representative Green.
Here.
In quorum.
Thank you. Our first bill up, SB 261, Senator Roberts. The floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing me to do this, and I appreciate, sorry to make that leave before. We're doing similar, we just moved a bunch of House bills and Fred just now, but thanks for pulling this together. I come before you to discuss SB 261. It deals with the corporate aspect of corporate boycotts, mainly along the whole group of what is referred to as ESG, and the aspects are going around the country. First thing I'll show you is a letter that Governor Ivey signed on to that 18 other governors joined her for 19 total, talking about where they think their states need to stand on this. Also, our Treasurer, Young Boozer, has signed on with the Treasurer from West Virginia and trying to deal with this. And so this bill is the first step of trying to set a stake in the ground of where Alabama will be. And if you remember, in 2021, we passed Alabama Business Competitive Tax, and the whole point of that was to allow business in Alabama to be as competitive as possible. And I've got some folks here that we're trying to get one more piece of that done, and that'll affect our corporate rate one day. But we don't want to do everything that makes us as competitive as we can be when we still leave, if you will, a dangling participle out there where corporate boycotts can be used as weapons against businesses in Alabama. So it's with that that I talk about how do economic boycotts, the objectives of them hurt our state by pushing philosophies or ideology or political viewpoints on business that short circuits the free market. It's that simple. The impact of boycotts is tremendous. Also, it impacts negatively our citizens. So with that, I'm open to any questions.
One question. Senator, thank you for explaining some of that, but I've got a question. So I know a lot of these around the country have kind of targeted BlackRock in a lot of ways, and due to the newly announced partnership with AT&T and BlackRock to expand broadband around the country, I know they've identified Alabama as one of those places that they want to make investment. How is this going to affect it? And the reason I ask that is because we are doing all of these incentives for rural broadband and those kinds of things, and it makes me feel like they would be disqualified from those funding sources because of this. Am I right, or am I seeing something wrong?
I think you're looking under the rock pretty deeply. I can't tell you exactly what that will be. I've not seen any of the contracts and whatnot, but it would be if coming into Alabama, they do not work with certain companies because of what they do. They would in essence be boycotting Alabama companies, and that's not our objective.
But you understand where I'm coming
No,
from,
I
in that
understand.
they were kind of the target of this kind of nationally, that got these processes started, and that's a concern for me. And I think while maybe what we're doing today is okay, I think there may be some issues down the road that some unintended consequences, let's put it that way, and we have to be very cautious.
We're trying to do nothing that harms business in Alabama.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I do have to agree with that. Because I noticed when you first opened up, you said this is like the first step to what's going down the road, and I do have concerns on what's that could be on down the road. Where is this leading? And
I don't know where it's leading. I don't think any of us do. It's interesting. And our Attorney General addressed the U.S. House a week and a half ago, maybe, and they were talking about just in the last week the way this whole concept has morphed year. So I don't think we really know. So my objective would be, along with some folks here in the legislature, to study this over the next year and get a better understanding. There's so much we don't know. Just like there's a lot we don't know about the digital currency, central bank digital currency. We've got a bill also that's going to address that. Y'all on the House bill, I believe, that deals with that, just in reference, is it legal tender or not? So there are a lot of moving parts that are going on right now. So I think it's more, the goal here is to protect our existing Alabama businesses and this is very scaled down from what other states have done, so.
Well, that leads to another,
Right, absolutely.
that leads to another question. If we're asking or stating that we really don't know, we're just trying to follow what everybody around us is doing. And we're trying to watch, and we'll probably put something in place, let's just start and put something up like everybody else is doing around us. Why is it that we can't hold this right now and study and then come back next session? Why are we rushing?
Well, number one, I'm not trying to cut you off, we're not rushing, I've been working on this since last summer with a group on this, of legislators on this, and that's how we arrived at what we were doing, simply focusing on just the corporate aspect of this is what we're doing in some with contracts. So that's what we're focusing here. Maybe nothing else needs to be done, maybe nothing else needs to be done on digital currency and some of the other things that are going, but I think it's really just the first step to move and make certain. We manufacture a lot of automobiles here. We deal a lot with airplanes. And Jefferson, Warrior, counties like that, there's a tremendous amount of coal mined and exported out of our state. You know, we contemplating some funds going down to South Alabama for a certain scoop. I have no idea what will happen with that. Y'all have that bill now. But there are things going on that could greatly negatively impact our state, and we don't want to allow things to take place that injure the economy of Alabama.
And I guess when I say rushing, I didn't mean it in the connotation of the real world. I do the connotation of the legislature.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything that goes from here to rushing. When it comes to legislation, I'm just saying, we usually work on bills for 5 to 6 years, so.
Yes, ma'am.
When something happened in less than a year, that's kind of a rush around here, so I guess that's what I call it rushing.
Yes, ma'am.
And I appreciate the work that you've done to study this, but I do have a concern when we do speak of, let's just start and put this in the air and then let's study it afterwards. Why is nothing that we can study, you know, this a little bit more also?
I think there will be many thoughts on this 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now as we move forward. But right now, setting up the economic boycott of Alabama business is not something that we as a state want to participate in. It's the first step is what I believe is appropriate to take.
And I don't even know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. I guess when I hear boycott, does that take away people's right to free speech? And
We're not taking away anyone's right to free speech. Anyone has the opportunity to do what they're doing. It's just we as a state don't want to use our funds to harm businesses in Alabama. Look at timber, look at chicken production, look at steel, look at automotive manufacturing, the whole EV line that's coming right now with Mercedes-Benz, look at Mazda, Toyota going up in Huntsville region. There's a tremendous amount of business going on here. We want to ensure that that business is successful, that they employ Alabamians to have good lives, and that's the reason for this step here.
is there an example of something that's taking place already in the state?
I think we see what's happening around the country on that, and so we're trying to just say we're not going to do this here.
So we just, that nothing has unfolded here.
I'm not saying that, no, there have been things, we tried to float some bonds and build prisons, if you remember that we had a special session about, and some of those bonds couldn't be sold because of this. So yes, ma'am, it's happening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, thank you, Mr. Chair, for recognition. All right, Senator, I do have a concern about Section 5 of this bill. The Attorney General shall seek to prohibit the adoption of federal laws, rules, regulations. Can you explain the reason why this is here and the purpose behind it?
Here again, I think that's working in conjunction with other attorneys general, of which currently our Attorney General is the head of the Republican Association of Attorney Generals. And so I think that is an admonition for him to continue to work to make sure that Alabama businesses and thus the employees hired thereby are well taken care of. So I think that's the intent of what we're trying to do.
Okay, well taken care of. So if it's a federal law, which we understand that federal law trumps state laws, Right.
in the same situations.
That speak to it.
Or there are state rights
Yes, that's
also.
like this, if the law doesn't speak to it, correct? Alright, so that's why I am concerned about this section, because, like you said, I guess it's the potential of it, potential of an issue happening or an issue occurring.
Is that a
Was
question?
Yes.
Is that correct?
I'm sorry, I
The
thought that
potential,
was.
like if the potential of something occurring or, you know, because I'm all for protecting the economic welfare of Alabama. I want it to be an attractive state and I want it to be a state where business will come. I just don't, you know, I don't want Alabama just chasing laws that may not happen, but I guess we're looking at the potential of something like this happening down the road.
I think that there are many attorney generals around the nation that are working on things to protect their state. This is just one other thing we want them to be aware of and voice in favor of if that presents itself, is what I was saying. I believe they're already doing that, but as you know, he deals with a myriad of issues. But I share your concern and appreciate that. In lockstep with you on that, sir.
All right, there are no other comments. I'll entertain a motion.
Move for favorable.
First. Second. All those in favor of giving SB 261 a favorable report, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. SB 261 Centers given a favorable report.
Thank you, Mr.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Committee adjourned.
Motion adjourned.
Yes, ma'am.
I put you down for that motion.
Me, yeah.
I didn't say, that was not me. It was
Thank God.
She thought she was calling Brian.
Yeah, no. I knew it wasn't. But then I'm like, what if he's right? Well, I don't know.
It's so meetings that we've had.
See what you